All right. So my name is Cameron Ashley. I am a sole contributor here at SOHH.com. I'm so excited to speak with you. You owe the Colombians
Oh
20
yeah,
million.
yeah. That's a lot of
Why
money,
don't you
right?
introduce yourself for the people who may not know if they've been sleeping
Yeah.
under a rock for the past few weeks?
Facts. What's up, y'all? My name is Rayan Lawerence, aka K9, from the hit show BMF on Stars.
Yes, BMF talked about every week you hearing something like the show going viral on the internet. What is it like to be a part of one of the hit shows right now? What is that like?
Oh, it's different. You know what I mean? You walk the streets and everybody know who you are. People coming up to you wanting pictures and things like that. You can call places and name drop your name, and you can get in. You don't got to pay like nothing. So it's different. It's amazing. You know what I mean? And I'm glad to be a part of this show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I mean, I'm sure you're not new to this. Like, you've been acting for a long time now. So you just getting to the point where like people are starting to know who you are just from BMF?
I believe so. I believe more people like you'll here and there you'll see somebody, yo, I know you from this show, that show, whatever, or movie. But I think with BMF is different. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
next level for sure because you'll have multiple people, back to back people. You see somebody here, somebody there, and they know you. You know what I mean? You can't eat. Somebody want to come take pictures. So it's definitely different. Definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, I'm sure it's opening a lot more doors right now for your career as
Yeah.
well.
I've been getting a
Just
lot.
being on the show.
Yeah. A lot of offers been coming in.
That's awesome. And you've been acting for a long ass time. Like, what was the first show that, or show or movie or role where it was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be an actor, and I'm gonna just go all in. What was the first one?
That's a good question. So here's the thing, right? Which spoiled me was my very first audition was for ESPN commercial, and I booked it. So I'm thinking, oh, this acting joint about to be easy. You feel what I mean? And years later, you like, yeah, this is pretty hard. It's hard business. But I think what maybe might have solidified that I want to keep doing this, it might have been ooh, that's tough. It's so much work I've done. Maybe even Tyler Perry House of Pain, because Tyler Perry House of Pain was my first guest star, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to work with him, Tyler Perry is himself. And I remember like it was yesterday. So I said my first lines, and they said, "What are you doing? You talking Spanish?" You know what I mean? Because I was mumbling a little bit, a little nervous. You know what I mean? It's my first guest star, and
Yeah.
it's Perry. So not too many people get that opportunity. But yeah, once I did that and I saw the love that I was getting just from being on that, then I was like, oh, this
What
is
did you
something
do on House of Pain? What role was
I
that?
I played this guy that was looking to get a job. I was going to get a new job, sorry. And the kid that was in the shop, I came in to get a haircut from him, and he
Okay.
wasn't cutting hair. This is how they found out he was good at cutting hair because I was the first person he cut. All he was doing was sweeping that day. I was like, yo, I need to get a haircut quick. I got this job interview. What's up? And then me and him polyed, and he hooked my haircut up, and then that's what got him to start cutting hair. But yeah, that was me, Roy. I remember that name,
Roy. That was the
Roy.
character's name.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the What's the best thing about acting? Because I know you did like a little bit of modeling before, and you didn't
Yeah.
really, like the modeling. So what's the best thing you would say is about being an actor?
I think diving into different characters. Because I remember I wanted to be a FBI agent, right, or a big
Right.
time detective. So to be able to play different characters in this space as an actor is just awesome to dive in because you can kind of feel that, even though it's not real life, but you kind of feel that experience, right? So if I play an NBA star or NFL star, things that I wanted to do growing up, it's amazing to dive in and really, research this character. For example, one of my projects that I was so honored to be a part of was when I did Underground because I hated history. So once I got the opportunity to be on Underground, then I was able to research history. It's like, man, it really got me at that time woke, right? So to be able to do that and play an abolitionist and be able to, to fight for the rights to vote, that was an amazing feeling for me. Yeah. So to go back at that time and then, things that you learn by developing these characters. So for example, listen, I ain't crazy like Canine, but you see, like when people disrespect you, you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta make an
Yeah.
example of them. You know what I mean? Like you we demonstrate. So you kind of, in a sense, kind of learn from all these characters, and I could even bring in this is that you remember with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. Will Smith, I felt, was still in character, right? Because he was saying
Mm-hmm.
that Richard Williams was like fierce about his family, and I don't know, right? But I feel Will Smith didn't feel that he defended his family as much as he should have, and he learned that from
Yeah.
the Richard Williams. So these are things that we kind of learn from these characters that we play. So that's why it's so good to dive into different characters and just create that space and imagine, or even somebody that's wasn't real life that you're playing, and you can learn of how they was going about certain things.
Yeah, yeah, that most definitely. And you said you wanted to be a cop growing up, and now you're playing like one of the biggest drug dealers
Yeah.
on a TV show right now. So, those they're like complete opposites. Like, how do you get into character from wanting to be a cop to, now playing a drug dealer on TV?
Well, one of the things was I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm from the streets. So you were able to see certain things that um in Brooklyn that they had in Detroit, right back
Hmm.
in the 80s. And I was listening to DMX every day. That was one of the things I felt that was perfect for this role, because everything that DMX would rap, Kanan was living this life back in the 80s. So I felt that was something for me to really adapt to the character. And then I just started to bring the similarities that I had. I don't like to be disrespected. We know Kanan doesn't like to be disrespected. I like to wear a lot of
Yep.
jewelry. I like to dress nice. Kanan the same way. I love basketball. Kanan loves basketball. So those are the similarities that I had, which I started the foundation of. Then starting to do the research, right? Started researching the YBI, Young Boys Incorporated, out of Detroit, was one of the biggest crime families as well. And looking up Colombians and the cartel and how they handle business. So all this research I was able to put into, and then really kind of develop him. And once I started to get the information also about K9, put that together and just be in the moment, which is method acting, right? Is being in the moment, being present, whatever's going on right now. I'm here and available in this space.
Right. So you say you do like a lot of research. What actually is that research process like from start to finish? When you get the character, do you automatically start researching them and kind of learning their cadence and how they move and everything? What do you do the first thing you do when you do research?
That's a really, really good question. I think once I'm research first, I start to read through the script, and depends if the person's a real life person or not. You're reading through it, and you start to figure out, why is this person doing what he's doing. And then
Yeah.
once you start to go, and if it is a real person, the cadence and stuff like that, or if it's a fake person, you start to develop the cadence by how you would feel he would feel, right? When I say about method acting, how would I feel he would walk? This just by looking at the lines, you can be like, I think that he will walk like this, he'll talk like this, like he'll sit a certain way, certain stature, right? Maybe the chest is up.
Yeah.
So it's just reading through it, I start to figure out, how I would develop this person, right? It's like putting together a puzzle. You kind of figuring this stuff out. And like I was saying, even certain things you don't know, you start to Google, or you just imagine of what this person would be like, or what he was 5 years ago, right? Things like that. What his family was like. If his sister and his brother's not there, if he had a sister and brother, who would they be like? Did he learn from his sister and brother? So things like that. It's just all different things that I take into developing a character.
Do you ever get stuck in a character like in real life?
No, no, I don't think so. I think, for example, with, let's say, Canine right now, right? So Canine, I was in the space for about 5 months, and I think once we were done, I went back to my normal routine, hanging out with my friends, going out to the reggae club, playing NBA 2K. So I was able to jump out of the character like that. But it's time that the character could come out, right? Um,
Yeah.
when I was filming, for sure, I've had instances where I, left the club or whatever, and yeah, you saw me turn into this character, but I was in the space at that time. But I think once I'm done, you might see it here and there, right? Because a lot of times people think us actors are a little bit of that person we play, or like I was saying, learning from that character, right? And you
Right.
end up using it sometimes later on.
Yeah, because I know some actors they say, I played this role so well because I was him in real life for a certain amount of time to build that character and just play it on TV and stuff. So I was just wondering, has that ever happened to you? You took a role so seriously that you just had to be him in your everyday life, at least until the show was over.
Right, right,
Do you know any
and
actors like that?
huh? All
Do you know?
not yet. Well, we all got different processes, and
Yeah.
like you can even look at God rest his soul, but Heath Ledger, right? He was so indulged with this character, and look what ended up happening. You look at when Denzel did Training Day. From my understanding, he was in like a squad car for about a month learning the character. Um,
Mm,
but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to, and depending how complex the character is, right? Things like that.
yeah.
It can really be. I've had times where I had a hard time learning the character. I think one of the characters I had a hard time with was this character. His girl was cheating on him, and I've just never been a jealous guy ever. So to me, it was hard for me to play a jealous boyfriend. So hard. Like every day, I would I would come to set, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm telling the director, man, I don't feel right doing this. But yeah, every different character is different for us, different process that comes at that time. It's
Yeah,
almost
that's right.
once we book this role, and once we start to do our start to do our study in the character, just how we feel of what comes natural to us.
Right. Well, I want to get back to BMF. You were part of the Power universe before. You played on the original Power series. What was it like your first time meeting 50 Cent, and what was it like working with him?
Dope. So when I did Power, I actually didn't meet 50 that time. At the
Okay.
after party, I did see him, but there was so many people wanting to say what's up to him, and I'm not that type of person. I'm like, I'll see him at the right time. But I
Yeah,
did
you
get
just
to
chill.
see
Yeah.
him. I did get to see him in Detroit. So when I saw him in Detroit, we hung out for a little bit because what happened was when I walked into the gym, I had my little gallon of water that I have every day. And I walk in the gym and he's like, well, you go drink that gallon, you go drink that whole gallon of water. I said, bro, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And we start laughing, start joking around in the gym. Then the next scene he sees me in, he sees me actually when I started doing the head in episode 1. So he has the headsets on and he takes the headsets off and he walks up to me. He said, oh, we shooting these dudes in broad daylight now. And I'm like, bro, this is what we do. And then we hung out for about 20 minutes in between takes. And then we just started talking. I was telling him about me growing up in New York, and I appreciated him giving me the opportunity and other people the opportunity. Look at how many people for the Power Universe, their careers blossomed. Now hear us on BMF and how our career is taking off. So I told him I appreciate that. But he real dude, man, real down to earth dude when you get to meet him.
Yeah, and you're on BMF and you talked about, your research process and everything like that. Before BMF came out, did you know about, the original BMF crew, or did that come part of like your research process as well?
I actually knew about him, right? Yeah, so I was hearing about them spending all this money in the clubs and having a big platinum jewelry and stuff like that. So there was definitely a vibe, and I've always been a dude that's been a leader amongst my peoples. So I felt like Big Meech. I'm not spending $1,000, spend a couple hundred on my peoples. You know what I mean? So they were definitely a big influence on me and the community I grew up in. But they did their thing. Dope.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely made some noise back in the day. So now
Nice.
that they have the show, it's like, the people that weren't maybe a part of that generation before kind of get like an insight and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool with this show now.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's dope because we got which is so smart by 50. We got the power fans, and then we got, like you said, the old school fans who know BMF. So you get both of those, which makes you know what I mean, makes the fan base crazy.
right, exactly. And you play your character K9 so well,
Thank
and
you.
it almost makes me think that you'll be kind of playing these characters a lot in your career. Are you worried about maybe being typecasted or anything like that?
Well, here's the thing: is that I think we'll see, right? A lot of the offers that's been coming in are very similar to the canine character, but the body of work that I put in beforehand, people are gonna say, "Oh, I didn't know he did this. I didn't know he did that." So I think that helps. So I may not get typecast, but it's possible because, like I said, I've been getting those offers to play characters similar to canine. But I think the body of work that I've had before with shows like Underground, with Power, with Blue Bloods, with FBI, things like that, I think will help them be like, okay, he did boom this cop or this the guy next door here, and we know he can do his thing because he's did 6 episodes on BMF. Boom, okay, give me a lead role playing the dad or something like that. A young dad.
Right, right. So, is there any role, I guess, that you haven't played that you would want to play in the future?
That's a really good question. Oh, yeah, I'd love to play like an NBA star, NBA or NFL star. I would love to play one of those for sure. If I could play one of those on TV or a movie or something like that, yeah, that'd be fun to do. Because I've played a detective. I haven't played FBI agent. I haven't played FBI agent too. So on the next level, FBI agent as well. That will always be the number one for me. But yeah, being an NBA or NFL, those would be something I would like to do as well.
What would you say you rather play, like a cop because that's kind of what you wanted to do before,
Yeah.
or playing like this, gangster role? What's more fun to you?
Well, definitely more fun is the gangster role. That's more fun. It'll be fun playing the cop because I'll be so focused on, let's say I'm having to really investigate a scene. I'm going to be really, really, really dove in because that's what I love to do is do investigation process. But the gangster is always going to be fun. That's always fun to do. I love
Would you
playing
say
it.
it's more versatile? Like, you never really knows what's gonna happen with a drug dealer's life. So
Yeah,
would that be more versatile?
yeah, yeah. You said is it more versatile?
Yeah, as far as like, what you can do within the role.
Oh, I see you saying. Right, right. Oh, I see. Yeah, drug. Yeah. Well, okay. So, for example, if I played a cop on a, like a FBI agent, we can do a little drug dealing on the side, something like that, and he can be he's trying to maybe help somebody that's close to his family that's sick. So there's so many different versatile things you can do within playing a cop, I guess, which will probably be more than the gangster character because it'll probably be the normal thing, selling the drugs, have the women, have the jury. I think the cop, you can just do so many different things with that cop in amongst his story.
Right, right. So with K9's role, I know he's based on a real character, right? He's based
Yes.
on a real person in the, BMF crew or,
Mhm.
whatever like that. But what would you say is the biggest difference between, the character you play as K9 versus real life?
The biggest difference?
Yeah, if there are any.
Yeah. I don't think it's much of a difference because they're very accurate. The show is very accurate. I would say the part where, because I know a lot of people was asking, did he really shoot his mom? In episode 7, when he shot his mom in the head, he didn't do that. But he was very accurate. Certain things, that happened in front of the gym. That things like that was real. So I think they were spot on. So it wasn't any big difference. They were really spot on about the story.
And K9 gave Meech a little bit of advice in the show. It's like a very popular quote right now.
Yeah.
I wrote it down because I want to say it correctly. Blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty does.
Mhm.
So, in your opinion,
Yeah.
love or loyalty?
Oh, definitely loyalty. Loyalty.
Why?
Yeah, yeah, loyalty is it, man. Like you said, you can have some people that's in your family and they can do you dirty, but it'll be that one person that may be your best friend that was always loyal to you. And then sometimes you gotta make those decisions. who you gonna rock with when it comes to this, certain things. And I always keep my loyalty. That's my thing in real life. Most people know I'm loyal. I might be loyal to a fault too. Certain things you be like, yo, you can't take everybody with you. But I'm the type now. I'm taking everybody with me. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. I think loyalty is way more stronger than love in a lot of situations,
Yeah.
especially in the streets. I mean, you want someone who's gonna always have your back and stay loyal no matter what. So, yeah, I
You
would definitely agree.
you could love me but not be loyal. Yeah, you could. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yo, this happened. Listen, I went with this. I love you, but I went with this. Me, I'm like, yo, I'm loyal to you. This is the reason why I'm doing this, right? That's I mean, I'm loyal to a lot of people. I may not even love you, but I'll be loyal to you because I'm just that type of
Yeah.
guy.
So, with your character K9, Meech, he basically, would you say it was disloyal of him to kind of go behind your back and talk with the Colombians? Would you say that's a disloyal, or you think he was, looking out for himself in that point? Because that is what happened in the show. So
Right. So K9 tells him he would have did the same thing. So I think the fact that K9 felt he would have done the same thing that's the reason why he forgave him, because he's like he learned. He's been learning from everything that I've been teaching him. He's like, okay,
yeah,
so he stepped back and was like, okay, all right, that was a good one.
you were
I, I
boss
yeah, because I'd have done the same thing as well. So I think the fact that K9 felt he would have did the same exact thing that Mish did once he saw an opportunity. Because you got to think about it. He's like, it's almost like, nah, I think that's kind of bad though, right? I was about to compare it if the homie was like, yo, he's done with the girl, like I'm done with her, and then the other homie like, yo, can I? It's kind of messed up, but I can't compare those two. But yeah, so the fact that K9 is like, listen, I would have done the same thing. I'm gonna let you slide. He liked that he thought about it, because remember the whole season he's been testing them. He tested them when he had him bring the drugs and he saw the drug dogs and he thought about it and he took the bus. Right
Yeah.
now, the other time when he was supposed to bring Peaches back, no, bring Travis back to him alive, he didn't think straight on that one, because what he ended up doing is he ended up bringing B Mickey, and B Mickey's a shooter, right?
Right.
So why would you bring a shooter to when I asked you not to kill this dude? So that was one of the things when he messed up. But I think this one he thought it through, and I think he made the right decision. He was like, listen, I'm trying to make money. If you're not going to use them, I will. That's pretty much how Meech
Well,
felt.
do you think that will kind of come back later to kind of bite him in the butt? And I'm only asking this because I've seen the picture, free K9. What's gonna happen with that? Because like Meech kind of did go behind his back and do that. So is K9 gonna retaliate and snitch, or what's going on with that?
Here's the question: what do you think? We about
What
to
do
see
I think?
tomorrow at midnight.
I mean, with K9's character, I don't see him snitching, to be honest. But you never know. So he in jail right now. Why not?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You look at everything that Kane has done all this season. You think he's gonna switch up?
I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping you could give me an answer. But
if I give you an answer, then I'm snitching. But you got to look at certain things too, right? So look at how K9's been, doing his thing all season in regards to, mentoring Meech, right? And then also look at the side of you just had somebody singing already, and boom. Do you think K9's gonna sing just like Boom sang? We don't know.
Guess we gotta wait till Friday, huh?
Yep, midnight tomorrow at midnight.
So it is a season finale coming up. Sadly, season 2 is nearly over. Can we expect more from K9 in season 3?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Season 3 will be exciting. We'll see if K9's in season 3.
And as far as you, what kind of projects are you working on right now? What can we expect to see from you in the future?
I got a movie that's coming out pretty soon called First Comes Love, Then Comes Murder. That'll be something that I have soon. I'm going to be filming a new project shortly. I can't name the cast yet, but we got a strong cast. I'll be playing one of the leads in that one, so that's gonna be fun. I got another movie coming out sometime this year, but I don't know when exactly. So I got a couple things in the work, and like I said, I began offers. I actually recently just got a inquiry about a project playing something similar to what I did in Underground. So I like the fact that finally something that's not canine, similar to canine. So I have, the First Come Love, Then Comes Murders in the works. Gonna be filming a new movie shortly, and I have other projects in between that we'll see when those come out. And like I said, I got offers, so I'm looking through these offers and seeing if these are the type of projects that I want to be a part of.
Okay, cool. And also, you're just acting now, but is there anything else, I guess, under your belt that you would be interested in doing? Maybe like directing or writing?
Directing just seems so hard, and man, but the way Michael B. Jordan just did it, he killed it. He make me want to be like, man, I may have to, I may have to start looking at directing. I think eventually I'll get into directing, but more so producing. So the new movie that I just signed on to, I'm going to be one of the producers on it.
Okay.
So I definitely producing is something that I produced a movie before. I'm going to be producing again, so that'll be something I'll continually do. Maybe directing eventually. I'll probably get a little thing about let me try to direct a little something. That seems very hard, but I like a challenge. So I can see myself directing at some point.
Great. Well, I don't want to hold you too long. If you just let the people know where to find you, and I guess you got to just stay tuned for what happens on Friday.
Thank you. Yes, you guys could follow me on IG, Twitter, and TikTok at Rayan Lawerence, RayanLawrence. Also Facebook too. I forgot. You can also follow me on Facebook as well.
Thank you so much, and you have a good day. All right.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
You are watching SOHH.com.